Welcome to Spotlight on eWomenNetwork. So we all know being an entrepreneur is not a walk in the park. So imagine being in business, a business owner who literally can't walk, can't type, can't write, can't stand for long periods of time due to a rare illness. Well, my guest today is just that person. She's got an illness called Ehlers-Danlos Syndrome, and this means that her body doesn't produce collagen. So she has nothing to support her joints, which you can imagine can lead to injury and lots of complications. But despite that, she chose to become an entrepreneur. She made that choice. And so she joins us today. Andrea Whitley is here. Thank you, Andrea, for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So you have this Ehlers-Danlos Syndrome. So tell us what that's like. What exactly goes on with you in having this syndrome?
So Ehlers-Danlos, you described it perfectly. I have very little collagen in your system. So think of collagen like the glue that holds your muscles and your joints together. I have very little of it. So I dislocate very easily. My fingers bend backwards. My shoulders dislocate. My shoulder blades flip. My kneecaps move. I'm way too flexy. Is kind of one way to describe it. When I was born, my hips were out of socket. It's called hip dysplasia. So I was in almost like a body cast from like under my chest to my toes. So they would put the cast on. I'd have to go in and get it broken, taken off, put back on again. That went on for a couple of months. Because you grow like a weed when you're a baby. But that's kind of the gist of it. So a lot of it is learning how to move and shift without dislocating or bruising, things like that.
So as a child, what was that like for you, that you can remember? You're in elementary school, kids are going out on the playground, they're on the monkey bars. What was that like for you?
Monkey bars were not my friend. I could not hang from the monkey bars because my shoulders would come out. But as a kid, you thought it was a cool trick. Oh, look, my fingers can bend all the way backwards. But running, I could never catch up with everybody else. It affects your circulation. So if you can imagine what it looks like if you got scratched by a cat on your legs, the red streaks, that's what my legs and my arms would look like. I decided, I'm going to try basketball. That was a horrible idea because I couldn't do the free throws because the repetitive things are really tricky. But you didn't know, I didn't get diagnosed technically till I was 16. So there was this gap from, it was just a, tough delivery. That's why your hips are out of socket till nothing, and then till 16. So I didn't get diagnosed till I was 16. So it was just, Andrea's just really flexible, or, well, she's not supposed to do that, but it's okay type thing. I'll be 40 in July. So, then it was, this is just something that's wrong with her. It wasn't really diagnosed.
So a typical day for you at the grocery store, what would that be like?
I love the grocery store because I like to talk to everybody. My husband says, you talk to everybody. But loading the groceries is tough. So picking up a gallon of milk, if I just dead drop a gallon of milk in my arm, it'll pull my shoulder out of socket. So I hug gallons of milk. I hug them from here and I go like this and then I put it in the cart. I cannot carry groceries, carrying them down. They have to go up on my shoulders. It's things like that. It's just learning how to adjust to things that a normal person just would not think about. How you lift things, how you push things, how you walk. I can wear heels, but I can't wear heels all day. I can pull about 2 hours. If you ever go to the movies with me, I shift constantly. Sitting still is really hard because a muscle will pull or just get kind of locked in a position. So grocery shopping is always an adventure.
And yet you have this beautiful smile and this shining, you're just this shining bright light. What is it? What is it about you that gets you through this and where you can look at every day and say, okay, I'm going to make it through. I'm going to wake up and take on the day. What is it in you that does that for you?
I think it's two things. I think one, I've never known the difference. So to me, it's my normal day. I don't know what it's like to not have EDS. So for example, I've never had pop. I don't drink Pepsi, Coke, stuff like that because I can't have caffeine. When someone's like, how do you survive without coffee? Well, I don't know what it's like to have it. It's not like it got taken away. So with the EDS, I don't know what it's like to not have it. So to me, my normal day is figuring out what's not going to dislocate today, or figuring out what's not going to be sore or hurt. So it's a normal day for me. So it's just how our family's always been. It's always, God built me this way. He just kind of forgot some parts, and the parts he forgot was the collagen. So it's, plus my daughter has it. So I always have to remember to show her it is okay. There's nothing wrong with you. I get your legs feel like junk today. They really hurt, but it's okay. How do we move past it? How do we go from point A to point B? So you're okay. Let's keep going.
So you just said you have an 11-year-old daughter, and she has it. What was that like for you when you found out that she does have EDS?
We knew there was a really big risk of it. It's hereditary. The difference is the severity level changes. So we don't know the severity level for her yet because she's 11. They don't usually figure that out till a little bit later because she's growing. So I will say I was like the crazy helicopter mother when she was a baby because she constantly falls. We joke we should have named her Kayla Grace to give her a one-up. She had the highest number of accident reports in her daycare, not her room, the whole daycare. She constantly was falling. She constantly gets injured. She bit her tongue 3/4 of the way across because she fell and popped her mouth. So she's just clumsy because her muscles don't contract quick enough to stop her. It's not so bad now, but it was really scary when she was little. When we had her, we had a lot of complications when we were pregnant. So it was just the same thing, learning how to adjust and figure out, okay, well, how do we pick her up? How do we not hurt her and not hurt me at the same time?
So how did you do that? You had this brand new baby.
Yeah.
You must have had some fear about dropping her, or what did you do?
Fear of, oh my gosh, are we going to break her? She's more resilient than I give her credit for, but I can't deadlift things. So we figured out when she could move, she'd crawl up on my lap, sit on my hip, then we stand up together. So, you use the couch to kind of lift up. So it was a lot of workarounds. It's just figuring out how to make things work. So picking her up, picking up gallons of milk, same concept. You can't deadlift things. So what's the workaround for it?
And that attitude, wow, that's an attitude we all should have, where, okay, this isn't working, going to the left, so let's go to the right, or go straight, or go up or go down.
Go sideways.
Were you always like that, or was this how you were raised?
I guess a little bit of both. My mom and dad are very good. They were very good with my sister and I. Have an older sister. She does not have it. I do. But they were very good about saying, well, that's not going to work, and now what do we try? So I'm very close to both my parents and my sister. I don't know. I guess I've kind of always had that attitude of, okay, this isn't working. I got to figure out something else. I'm one of those people where if I try something and I have to figure it out, puzzles, anything like that, I'm kind of a control freak. So I have to figure out how to fix it. It will drive me crazy until I don't.
Which brings us to your business. So your business is called Blessed Attire, and this is a Christian-based apparel company. Mm-hmm. And when you started it, you were actually brought in to do sales by a friend, and you were going to do sales, and he was going to do IT, and then he left. And you came up with this bright idea to take over the business despite your condition, and had to learn a whole bunch of stuff. So first of all, why did you do that? Why did you even decide to take on a business knowing your limitations? And you just started in 2016, so you have a young daughter still.
Yes. Because I have crazy written across my forehead. I just felt it was the right thing to do with everything that's going on in this country. It was just so negative. Every news story was negative. Every story you hear coming home, I'm like, this is getting insane. There's got to be something positive that we can get going. So this just seemed like the right thing to do. It seemed like the best idea. Positive messages, starting conversations in Christ. I didn't want it to not be able to go forward. My friend that was going to start it, he had gotten some traction with it, but he owns an IT company and had the opportunity to expand his business. So it was the right decision for him to do. And we had talked, he goes, I really think you should go forward. I'm like, I really think you're nuts. But it just felt right. I couldn't say no. I wanted to try the design work. I have no background in design. I have no background in IT. I have no background in this anything, but starting the conversations in Christ and getting the designs out there and getting some positive messages, it just felt like the right thing to do.
So, but this falls in line with you liking to solve puzzles. So
Yes.
it actually made sense. Now, as we're talking through it, you don't know all these things. Yay, I can learn.
Let's go figure them out. Yeah. So I had to learn how to build a website, which I have no experience in. I had to learn graphic design. I had to learn Photoshop. I had to learn how to set up a Shopify store. I had to learn how to do the taxes. I had to learn how to find the right shirts, find suppliers, find vendors, find printers, find if I can get into stores, which is one of the goals for 2018 is to get into 10 stores across the country. Learn how to do vendor shows, learn how to set up what a booth looks like, learn how to build clothing racks. So yeah, it was a lot of learning.
and still is. But you also say one of the most important things for you is in doing this, you know, as most entrepreneurs tend to be very controlling and want to do everything. But you made sure you had support.
Yes. A lot of support. It took a little bit to realize, but you have to get to a point where, and my husband is wonderful. He's very supportive. My parents are supportive. I have a wonderful sister who helps. You know, they're my backbone. But I had to learn math is not my strong suit. I need to get somebody in here who can help me with the accounting aspect. I need somebody to teach me how to do design work. I need somebody to teach me, I don't know SEO and coding. Someone's got to show me how to do this. So when you start a company, you have to realize you can't do everything on your own, even if you are a crazy control freak like I am. You've got to get those people in your wheelhouse that you can go to, but that are going to be honest with you and say, this is great. This is stupid. This is not going to work. I've tried this. This is not a good idea. You know, there were designs I thought would do great that nobody liked but me. There's one like the shirt I have on, Just Breathe. I didn't know if this was going to work. This is one of our best sellers. It's just learning kind of what works, but getting those people behind you that are going to be supportive but honest.
So tell us about that shirt.
So it says Just Breathe. The T is a cross. And pull my hair out of the way. I tend to go like this. I get very frustrated and I'm like, just breathe. My husband tells me, Andrea, just breathe. So that's where the shirt came from. About a couple months after we designed it, there was a Christian song that came out, and part of the lyrics are Just Breathe. We did a huge vendor show in November, and I could not keep this design at the show at all. It's completely sold out there, and it's one of the most popular ones that we have online is the Just Breathe.
Tell us how EDS, what you've learned from EDS and the lessons you've learned from EDS and how you apply that in your business.
I think one of the biggest ones is just to try. And if you try and you fail, it's okay. You know, with the EDS, like I said earlier, sports, I tried them, I failed miserably, but at least I tried. And it's the same thing with business. You're going to make mistakes, but at least make the effort and to try. And if you make the mistake and you fail, learn from it. Like I said, some of the designs I tried, I thought were going to be great. They were awful. Nobody liked them but me. But it's trying. You know, I tried this business and it's wonderful. It's going great. It's a lot of fun. I wanted to give back to the community. I tried a program and it just wasn't working. So we have a different one out there. So just try, make an effort and just try. It is okay to fail. It is okay to make a mistake. Don't give up and go, well, I tried, I failed, I'm not going to do it again. Nope, get back up. Try it again. If you're going to fail, try it again. You're going to fail, try it again. But figure out what you did wrong and say, okay, well, if I had done it this way, what could have happened? And then try it that way. And keep trying and just keep trying.
Yeah. And really any successful entrepreneur will tell you it, from the billionaires to the millionaires to the solopreneurs, that really business is made through failures. You have to fail in order to succeed, because success doesn't just happen. I mean, it doesn't just fall out of the sky. You got to work at it, and you work very hard at it. We all, all entrepreneurs work, very hard. Sandra says, who would give up a 40-hour a week job for an 80-hour a week job, and less pay?
Right. Crazy people like us.
So what are some of the other sayings that you have on your clothing that because your goal is to start a conversation? You said that earlier. It's not just to make a statement. It's to get people thinking.
Right. One that I like is be still and know. Another one I like is work hard, have fun, and trust God. I think you have to work hard in life. You have to have fun in your world, but you have to trust God all at the same time. Some of the men's one of them says, iron sharpens iron. I think that's one of the greatest phrases. And to me, it means if you're around sharp people and you are around those that strengthen you, you're going to strengthen them back. It's working together.
I love that. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Iron
I love that
sharpens
one.
iron.
Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
Yep. We have some just simple ones that just say blessed, just something very simple. But I have yet to wear, and 9 times out of 10, I have on a shirt somewhere when I'm out in public, but I have yet to wear a shirt that doesn't start that conversation. You know, I had on be still and know, and I had a woman walk up and she goes, what does that mean? It ended up being a conversation with 5 of us in a store. I only knew one, which is my mom. It was me, my mom, this woman that brought up this, and the 2 store associates ended up having a 30-minute conversation in the middle of a store. That was the point. She didn't know what it meant. I explained what I thought it meant. The other girl said what she thought it meant. And she was like, really? Well, what do I do now? I'm like, well, let's figure it out. So it was like, that was the point. She was at a point where she just wanted information. That's the point. It's just starting a conversation.
Why is
just starting something?
And why is it important to start the conversation? Why is it important to get people talking about these positive messages and these messages of hope and inspiration? Why is that important to you?
Because I think there's so many negative things. The more positive conversations you start, it will drown out the negatives. When you're out and about, simply saying hello to somebody, smiling, shaking a hand, a pat on the back, a positive conversation, a quote. You know, it looks like you're having a really rough day. Let me say a prayer for you. Looks like you're in a really tough spot. Just know, I'm thinking about you today. It changes that one person, and then that one person will think of somebody else, and it just keeps going. But if no one starts the conversation and nothing positive happens, the negative is going to take over. The more positive you can spread, the more kind things you can do, that's what's going to take over. But until it starts, nothing happens. It has to start somewhere. It has to.
For every entrepreneur, there is going to be those days when you just want to give up. When things just really just suck.
Yep.
Tell me about tell me about one of those days that you had when you're like, I just can't do this anymore, and then what got you back on your feet?
So that was Friday, and I can tell you that was Friday. I did my first I've been being pushed to do the live videos. I'm not good at that yet, so I'm learning. So I did a live sale on Friday. I did 2 videos on Tuesday, or 2 on Tuesday, 2 on Wednesday, 2 on Thursday to lead up to this big live sale on Friday. I sold one thing. I sold one thing. I was so discouraged. I was so frustrated. I was like, this is insane. The video was watched 900 times. I had all these hits. I had all these comments. Nothing. I'm like, that is so frustrating. Like, why do all these people love the clothing, but they're not going anywhere? I had sales on the website, but it wasn't the stuff I was featuring were special orders. So I'm like, why am I doing this? This is not working. Do I not have the right designs? Do I not have the right clothes? And Kayla comes up. She goes, Mommy, it's okay. I was like, really? She goes, yeah, it's okay. You tell me all the time if I make a mistake, it's okay. I'm like, okay, babe, we're good. We're good. Like, I tell her stuff, so she sees when I'm not having a good day, and she does the same thing back to me. I'm like, all right, we're good. Again, just breathe. Just breathe. That's the reason why it's my favorite shirt. Just breathe.
Just breathe.
And,
yeah.
You just keep going. So you keep posting and you keep pushing and you keep doing it. But it was just frustrating. And it was the first time I tried it. And in my head, I'm like, I'm going to sell all this stuff on Friday. Nope. Didn't happen. Didn't happen.
So what did you learn from that? How are you going to go back to the drawing board, and what are you going to do differently?
Well, I learned I was looking down into the video, not up into the camera. So I think it was a horrible angle. There was too much light coming in from the back. You couldn't see some of the colors correctly. To me, it looked like bright purple, but on the camera, I think it looked blue on some of the shirts. I have a tendency to talk super fast. So when I played back the video, I was talking way too fast. So I have to learn how to slow down. I need to have better angles on the camera where the computer is sitting. And I think I featured way too many articles of clothing. I think I went through 10 of them. I needed to slow down and do that differently.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea, because I know for me, just say, give me one thing. If you're having a special order, one thing, special order on this one thing. because I'm one of these, I like boutiques as opposed to department stores.
Yes.
And generally you'll get a better deal in a department store. So I tend to go there, but I get overwhelmed.
Yes.
So that's
yes.
good. This is good stuff that you're learning. And the next time you do it, it'll be better. How about the way you were leading up to it? How was your promotion around that? Was there anything you can change for that with that?
I think so. I think the mistake I made was I did like I said, a video on Wednesday featured one thing. I did one in the afternoon, featured one, and I did that. But then I did all of them on the live sale at the same time. So I think featuring them each during the weekend and doing basically all of them in one shot on that Friday, like you said, it was overwhelming. It was just too much stuff.
You might want to consider the Home Shopping Network, and with what you're doing, they might just be really open to it.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah. I don't know the process, but you're the puzzle,
I have no idea, but
puzzle solver, so you could
something else I can go find out.
Yes, absolutely right. So what are some of the other sayings that you have besides just breathe? You talked about the other one that you had at the
be still and know.
Yeah, and be still and know, and the men's. I love that iron.
Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah. Name a couple more just to get us thinking, because it's something that we can take away from this and go out in the world and go buy your shirts or go buy your attire.
Yes. Let's see. We have grateful, thankful, blessed. We have one that's a beautiful heart that says loved in the middle with a small cross on the bottom. We have one that has an anchor on it that says, you are the soul to my anchor. We have blessed. We have, I'm trying to go through all the women's one first. We have faith, hope, and love. The O in love is actually heart. There's another one in the men's line that I really like. It's a double back. So there's a phrase on the front and one on the back that says strength, and it's the same thing. For I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. A lot of the men's are front and back. I'm finding that the guys like front and back shirts. The girls don't, because your hair covers the back of the shirt.
Right. There you go. See? Look what you learned.
Look at me learning. Yeah, there's another new design out that we just put up. It says Jesus trained. The T is a cross in the front, so that's actually going to go on our athletic line. That's going to be coming out in about 2 weeks. It's on the shirts now, but it's also going to be on our athletic line. There's another one that has the Ixis fish on it that says faith on the bottom. So we have about just under 30 designs on the website.
Wow.
And we have some that are on the men and the women's, and we have some that are just on the women and just on the men. We also have the kids line that is a mix of both. And we have jewelry and tote bags and blankets.
Oh, that's fantastic. So people, if they are interested in buying and looking at your attire, they can go to blessedattire.com. Mm-hmm. And then if people want to reach out to you, let's just say somebody might have EDS or have a great idea for a design or just want to chat, how can they reach out to you directly?
In a couple ways. You can email me. My email is awhitley, so AWHITLEY at blessedattire.com. You can find me on Facebook. Like the page. You can share it. You can join the group. That is at Blessed Attire Apparel is our Facebook handle. You can send me a text message or you can call me anytime. My number is 513-532-1494. On our website, we also have on the side, you can hit all of our email buttons, our Facebook, and the phone number is all right there as well, just in case you miss any of it. If you want to know about our church partner program, you can get a hold of us. If you want any of design information, anything like that, feel free to reach out anytime.
So in conclusion, because we've run out of time,
yes,
what
ma'am.
2 lessons can you impart on people that are the lessons you've learned while creating and opening Blessed Attire?
I would say number 1, like I said, it's okay to fail. You are gonna make mistakes, but get back up. You have to just learn from them, and it is okay. And to get people in your wheelhouse that will give you honest feedback. You don't want the ones that are going to say, "Oh, that's fabulous." Don't get those people. Get the ones that are going to give you honest feedback, but that will guide you and help you. You cannot do everything on your own. It's impossible. You cannot wear 1,000 hats and actually function as a human being in the world. So get the people that will help you and guide you and give you honest feedback, and the ones that you can vent to, ones that you can cry to, and ones that you can learn from. And just have faith that you're going to be okay.
Well, you're a beautiful person. I'm so glad I got to meet you today, and I'm glad I got to know you, and I hope to see you more at other eWomen events. And
yes.
And yeah, I wish you absolutely the best. We all here wish you
Thank you.
the best in your business. And I think you've got a really good thing, and you're a really good thing.
Thank you. It's been fun.
Andrea Whitley, thank you. Take care.
Thank you so much.